different countries, in the different continents, in the different parts of the world, in the different time zones. We extend you a very hearty welcome this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the 213th webinar, Making Education Relevant. The global confluence of intellectuals, research scholars, innovators, skill developers, entrepreneurs, startups, micro, small, and medium enterprise, experts, and of course, employment generators. New Education Policy 2020 of India. Heartiest congratulations to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Education Minister of India, and the entire ecosystem of education. 29th of July 2020, the history has been rewritten in India when the new education policy, the most innovative, creative, dynamic, and vibrant policy has been announced for the education in India. Every day we get one celebrity, one distinguished guest, and they speak, they share their vision, and they talk to us whatever cerebrum they want to share with the entire global fraternity. So ladies and gentlemen, this evening we have got Dr. Ravi Kant Pathak ji, right all the way from the Sweden, and he is the associate professor and the atmospheric scientist, and he is going to share with us from the university that is all the way in the Sweden. We will talk to him in a little while. We will also be joining by 5 children of mine under the Women Empowerment Program, and they will talk to us. Today's program is very, very important and relevant to today's time. It is on organic farming, and we will be talking also on startups, because micro, small, and medium enterprise, when we talk about, this is the most challenging time during COVID-19 pandemic, when the whole world is passing through a very difficult times, and we all are trying to find the new pedagogies, new andragogies, new innovations, new creativity, what all is to be done world over. And that is the way, ladies and gentlemen, today, let's put our thoughts together. Our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, since 1994, is in the service of getting the confluence and collaboration of the non-resident Indians, those have gone world over. In 1994, we started in a very humble way, but in 2003, then the Honorable Prime Minister of India, he gave the new dimension, the new vision to the whole setup and to the whole profile, and there was a birth of Bharatiya Parvasi Divas. We were celebrating from 1994 till 2003 on 13th of January, which is a Lohri festival. That was Bharatiya Parvasi Divas on 9th of January, symbolic relationship, because Mahatma Gandhi ji, he returned from South Africa on 9th of January. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the birth of the Bharatiya Parvasi Divas, and thereafter vibrant Gujarat, vibrant Karnataka, vibrant Tamil Nadu, vibrant Telangana, vibrant Rajasthan. Everything is vibrant in the country. So at present, there are more than 30 million non-resident Indian abroad in the different countries, in the different continents. They are doing a great, great work. Either they are creating employment for someone, or they are giving some new dimensions to the whole concept. They are from the IT background. They are from various other strategies, what they are imparting world over. During this coronavirus, we have taken the agenda, because like doctors, nurses, and paramedical people, they are the in charge. They are the warriors. They are doing great service, because health is very important for all of us. Similar way, 1.86 billion children at present, they are away from schools, colleges, universities, polytechnic institutions, wherever they are, whatever studies they are doing. So they are at present away. And I would like, on behalf of our chamber, to salute all the teachers, all the educators, and particularly I would like to give lots of blessings to our children that they did so much of cooperation during this entire pandemic journey till date, what all is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we all understand during the lockdown, your thought processes are affected, your business is deeply affected, your physical and mental health is affected. and main part of the universe, education is deeply, deeply affected. Okay. From India, we always believe the whole world is one family. It is a Vasudev Kutumbakam, the global collaboration, the global education empowerment together. The world as one family. Let's rise, let's move ahead together. So, once again, our deepest regards and heartiest congratulations to every stakeholder. Those are directly or indirectly associated with the education fraternity in India, because the new education policy, right from the school education to the higher education, technical education, vocational education, like children are going to have the coding from the sixth standard. Vocationals are going to be there, skills are going to be there, competencies are going to be there. Children are going to go to the corporate houses, factories, internship, and with that, the visit to the corporate houses. And Asha Bhosle ji the other day complimented the Honorable Prime Minister of India, the great singer, and she says now the science children will be able to take music, and commerce children will be able to take fashion designing and so many other verticals. No arts, no commerce, no science. All of us together growing. That is, and the STEM has become the STEAM now. That also we would be knowing. So when I talk about STEAM, जो भाप है वो कहाँ से निकलती है? पानी से. Water conservation is very important for all of us. About 150 countries research which our chamber has gathered from world over. We have learned in a very, very difficult and a harsh way that the next crisis world over, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the water crisis, water misunderstanding. And if we do not save every drop of the water, the whole world is going to have lots of challenges in the coming times. Try and read the story, what is going to happen. The water levels are going down in different states, in different countries. At the same time, if you see the future predictions for city called Bangalore and state called Punjab and couple of other places, what all is going to happen, we got to be saving every drop of the water. Now, when we are talking about saving the drop of the water, I think the female child plays a very important role, because the girl child, when you educate them, when you empower them, they build the society, they build the civilization. Because when you educate a male member, you educate individual. But when you educate a female child, you educate so many subsequent generation. Girls, they play very important role in our society. We must empower them. We must encourage them. I always have a little tussle with my son. He says, hey, Dad, you devote more time for your daughter than devoting a time for me. You're more considerate to her. I do not know. You got to feel that every father has got a very soft corner for their daughters. It happens that way. I don't know why. Okay. So from our chamber, when I talk about the skills gaps, which is coming with the education system, we start in the morning at 9 o'clock and we go till 9 o'clock in the evening, 12-hour non-stop service by our chamber. And if I share with you, this program is being beamed right in Canada, United States, Latin America, Europe, coming to Central Asia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan. And from there, I'm coming to South Asia, Afghanistan, Bhutan. And then I come to Nepal. Then I move to Sri Lanka. Then I go to Maldives. And then I'm going to the Middle East all the way. And that side, people are joining us from Saudi Arabia. They are joining from Doha, Qatar. They are joining us from Oman. They are joining us from Kuwait, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Bahrain. We extend them a very hearty welcome. Going a little further down, people are enjoying their dinner and they're watching this particular program in 10 beautiful countries in the fastest growing economy of the region that is known as ASEAN region. Association of the Southeast Asian Nations. Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei. These 10 beautiful countries, they are doing wonders on this planet. Going a little further down, ladies and gentlemen, it's again a dinner time when I talk and when I share 270 families joining us from Seoul, and that is all the way from Korea. Then Dr. Christy Chang, you along with others in Taiwan, and then go a little further down. It's about 10:30, 10:45. Different time zones are there. when I talk about Sapporo, Hokkaido, Kobe, Kyoto, Fukuoka, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Yokohama, Tokyo, and Yokohama, all the places, Shivasanara, Teota, Tako, Shivasanara, Taido de Shimaso. And when I take you to Moscow, Dobre Večer, Darage Instituta Padalante Ruzma, I upravlenia Buroputić Shetvi, Razristich Vast. So people are joining us all the way. Annu Malhotra, I extend you a very warm welcome. You along with the others, the NRIs, joining us from Moscow live. Great evening, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, a lot of my brothers and sisters from Bihar, those have gone all the way to the Port Louis. When I talk about Mauritius and when I talk about Seychelles, and of course, Dr. Mishra joining us from Kenya, then Mozambique, then Uganda, then Angola, then going all the way to South Africa, and then of course I'm going all the way to Senegal also. I'm grateful to UNESCO, Mr. Omar, Mr. Eric, and all the stakeholders. Those are joining us from the different parts. Thank you. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days. We have got a beautiful journey for the youth. I'm for the youth. I'm with the youth. I love millennials. They are wonderful children. When you talk to them, when you sit with them, there's so much of creativity. There's so much of innovation. There are so many new strategies, and they talk and they share. So ladies and gentlemen, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, we talk with the youth directly, and we talk about what are the new pedagogies, what are the new andragogies, what all is coming up in the system, which are the new apps and which are the new startups and what all is coming up. So after 4 days, we take you to Lord Buddha and what is Buddha's teachings, philosophy, and what is the relevance of Buddha's teachings in today's education system. So we talk about it on Friday. Saturday, we take you all the way to Balur Math. We take you to Chicago. We take you to Boston. We take you to New York. We take you to California and a couple of other places. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, 11th of September, 1893, 127 years back, one of the Swami, when he started Sisters and Brothers of America, and when he started over there, ladies and gentlemen, people rose on their chairs and they started clapping for this Swami. Revolutionary. What a beautiful, he mentioned over there, excuse me, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. That is Swami Vivekananda on Saturday evening at 5 o'clock. Thereafter, we move on Sunday morning, ladies and gentlemen, 9:30 to 11 o'clock. We take you all the way to Woodbury University, Burbank, California, 65 to 70 miles away from Los Angeles Airport, and Professor Satinder Dhiman right in front of the Universal Studios. When you open the door, tung tung, and right over there, Professor Dhiman, and he talks to us about Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and he talks about 10 principal Upanishad, what all is being conveyed over there. And thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday evening at 3 o'clock, we take you to ASEAN, India-ASEAN relationship with a special focus onto the Ashtalakshmi of India, what Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi calls Ashtalakshmi, that is your Tripura, Manipur, Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, Sikkim, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh. 8 beautiful states, beautiful people, cuisine, art, craft, handicraft, civilization, dances, music. I enjoy everything of the Northeast. Beautiful people, beautiful. And what a greenery, lush green, you must travel. I would request each one of us, because you can't travel overseas so soon now during the pandemic, travel to northeast part of India, go to Kaziranga, go to so many other Manas Tiger Reserve, go to another Namdafa Tiger Reserve, the last one of India, final part, easternmost when you talk about, that is in Arunachal Pradesh. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday evening, the last program, Micro, Small and the Medium Enterprise Startup, every Sunday at 5 p.m. with the Sector Skill Council under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And of course, when you're doing so much of hard work, you got to take care of your health and your wellness also. So what is important over here? Important over here is your yoga, your meditation, your naturopathy, and your health and your wellness. If you're mentally strong, your body will physically follow you. You won't fall sick. So mentally, you got to be very robust. You got to think that way. So here is the complete canvas of the entire week, what you can have a look. This is the research which our chamber has carried out right from the 25th of March. The new golden triangle and the new world order would be your first priority should be the basic organic food. Start doing cultivation in your own residence. मैं अपने घर की छत पर सब्जी उगा रहा हूँ, अपने घर के आंगन में सब्जी उगा रहा हूँ, कोई भी जगह कहीं पर भी है, I'm just cultivating organic food. Second part is you got to be taking care of your health and wellness. And third part, education will never ever get back to the old system of January, February. Now people have started enjoying technology. You got to think from the technology point of view, sustainable development. The world new order would be B2B, that is back to basics, not business to business. So this is the last slide, which I show you from the chamber. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Start conceiving good ideas. Start believing in yourself. You can achieve anything on this planet if you are determined, if you are focused, they always say, have faith, get focused, and follow through. Let's come together and let's make education relevant, because education is the motherboard of the entire human development, ladies and gentlemen. So our chamber at present, bringing a global confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, counselors, wellness experts, corporate, government administrator, and decision makers together on a common platform. Here is the web portal, www.icsiindia.in. And then should you wish to become a panelist, you want to send a suggestion, send at innovation@icsi.asia. Should you wish to send a small WhatsApp, both the numbers are listed over here. As I made a mention to you, every evening we get 5 celebrities. These children, they are the star of the evening today. These 5 are सारा संसार 5 तत्वों से बना है, 5 उंगलियां हैं, 5 इंद्रियां हैं. इन सब चीजों की जब हम बातचीत करते हैं, ये भारत का ही नहीं, पूरे विश्व का भविष्य है. इन बच्चों का under women empowerment, they are the future, they are tomorrow, they are something, those are going to do wonders on this planet in the coming times. So ladies and gentlemen, while extending a very hearty welcome to these 5 stars of the evening, first is when I talk about Shrill, she is what's the purpose of education. Second, Anjali, role of technology in today's education. Number 3, Jonna, what does today's youth want? Number 4, Prajvala, how to create your dream career. And last, Tanvi, she will talk about how to make education relevant in our day-to-day life. So that is something very interesting. Each one of them, they'll speak about a minute or so. After I would have got my distinguished guest having done his presentation, his sharing of the vision this evening, who is joining us all the way from the Sweden. And ladies and gentlemen, these stars, those are brought over here. This is the kind courtesy of Colonel K.C. Menon, who is our regional head for the entire southern India. And his mobile number is listed here. His email is listed here. All the principals, all the counselors, all the teachers, I would make a request to you, get in touch with him. Your children could also get an opportunity to be a part of this particular program. Do get in touch with him. Let's reach out. And I always believe, I hope my son is not listening, I love my daughter more than my son. Okay, let me proceed further. And let me invite my distinguished guest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ravi Kant Pathak ji, the Associate Professor, University of Gothenburg, Sweden, founder and director at Seed Foundation, San Jose, California, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, experienced associate professor with a demonstrated history of the working in the higher education industry, skilled in atmospheric measurements and experimental molecular investigation, interlinking atmospheric chemistry and climate change. Strong education professional with a postdoctoral focused in air pollution and climate change. Climate change, everybody is talking about, from Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's extend a very hearty welcome to these distinguished guests, and let me remove the curtains and get all the celebrities together right over here. And with these words, ladies and gentlemen, I will just have the speaker view, and right over here, I would request my distinguished guest, Dr. Professor Ravi Kant Pathak ji, to take on the center stage and to share his vision. He comes from a place very near to Jhansi, and that is, Betwa River is there, Orcha is also there, Bundelkhand is also there. All that part, when I talk about that area, when a couple of days back, I had a brief discussion with him. Rest of the journey, he will talk to all of us and he will share with us. But that is in brief I wanted to tell. And what a beautiful first slide, organic farming, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and that is Professor Ravi Kant Pathak ji. Hearty welcome to you. Pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharma. And it is such a great pleasure to be here. And it's a great honor to speak with our NRI forum and people from all across the globe. It is such a nice platform which I have come across, and it is so encouraging to share our journeys, share our thoughts, and impart the education that we have got from formally and also through our experience. I will walk through some of the slides here so you get the visuals along with my voice. And Atmanirbhar Bharat, why we are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. It was always our culture. If you look into the history of India, walk through this ancient civilization, you will find that India was always Atmanirbhar, and I will take you through this journey. So it is not new concept for us as it appears. Many youngsters or new generation youth, those who see this as a new banner, actually Atmanirbhar Bharat was always. If you look at Mahatma Gandhi during his freedom struggle, he has always talked about self-sufficiency. He walked through villages during his Dandi March, and he talked about that villages must be self-sufficient. And that means they should have self-sufficient in food, in their clothes, and basic necessities. That is the first step of self-reliance. And if we go back in the Chanakya era, we see that Indian villages were self-sufficient economically, and they had a self-sustainable economy as they grew their own food. They had cottage industries, service industries, their temples, schools, forest ecosystem for happier and healthier life. Why we talk about Atmanirbhar now? I will come to that point, but let me give you some glimpses of the civilization, the Bharat, guided by Sanatan Dharma. What we talk about in our coexistence with nature, you see this beautiful wheel. And this is a symbol of Atmanirbharta, a symbol of change, symbol of cycle. We talk about that in our civilization, from untruth, lead me to the truth. It's a journey from darkness to the light and from death to immortality. How to live the life without dying. and life and death are sometimes the same thing. And what Bharat has given to the world, inventor of the concept of zero, it is not just a number for me. I see the whole world, whole universe, everything from atomic structure to the cosmos. I see the sign of circle, the zero. And that comes from the enormous wisdom, enormous tapashcharya, and enormous intellectual thinking. Now think, when zero came to the world, we were already ahead in conceptualizing the how universe look like. And this is the land of saints, where they did not strive for making their personal properties. Rather, they strive for wealth, creating the wealth, the sampada. So their journey, life journey of every saint was moving away from sampatti and creating the sampada of happiness, sampada of wealth, natural resources. So we can coexist with entire nature harmoniously and peacefully. Bharat has been known for knowledge and wisdom. Long back, hundreds of BC, there were several world-known universities. The first university of the world was in India. Nalanda, Udangiri, Takshashila, Munshiganja, Jagdala, Pushpagiri, Somapura, Vilavi, Vikramshila, Ratnagiri, all these universities had been the foundation of our knowledge and wisdom. We are old civilization. We have passed through many storms like today's pandemic. We are seasoned people. The civilization is rich in many aspects. It has Bharat has spectacular architecture. Now, like from wonders of the world to, if you go into the arts of these temples, these monuments, amazing, amazing, amazing. And even if you go to small villages, you will find these part of their architecture. How can these be built without knowledge, without wisdom, without technology? It was prosperous world in itself. These monuments reflects the rich culture of the India. The land of arts and skills, the colorful crafts, and beautifully designed enormous thousands and lakhs and millions of these crafts have been part of our coexistence with nature. We lived very peacefully, we created, we prospered, we flourished. And our villages, whatever they look like, they were full of wisdom. For example, the potter has been uh, part of the integral living. Now, these pottery is one of the key part of our good health. These potteries from clay, when we eat and cook in them, they produce micronutrients to us compared to the modern metal vessels, where we do not know what kind of metal they're reacting with ourselves. Big science was there that existed, and India lived very flourished civilization. The colors, the dance, the rich culture has been seen in many forms, enormous forms. And all this culture was designed, aligned with one goal of the life, that is zero, the self realization. You start your journey and reach to the same point. The land of dances, spirituality flourished here. Manifestation of spirituality through these dances has been our culture. The land of celebrations. We celebrate festivals, agriculture, and many other form of celebration. Happiness has been day to day. Life is all about celebrations, and enormous number of festivals we have in India, and enormous diverse system. We are rich in culture, in music, culture. I mean, Indian classical music was supposed to lit the light by music, and those were the ragas. They enter into your emotions. They make you feel so. They make you live like that, and that is the magic of music. We are the land of biodiversity. None like here I see anywhere in the world. It's one of the most biodiverse continent or the subcontinent in the globe. We are blessed with 6 seasons and 32 plus agriculture climate zones. We can grow whatever we want to grow naturally. And we are blessed with so many varieties of fruits, vegetables, grains, and foods that are grown nowhere in the world. And we are, this agriculture in India, it has been Sanatani, organic, all the time, pristine India has lived along with the rivers. These rivers actually play a vital role in our evolution of the civilization and the land of Ayurveda and yoga. I mean, we have been talking about in this forum very regularly about this. We were much advanced because we had thinkers, scientists, and saints who guided the civilization, society, and evolution of Bharat. And it is the land of metals and stones and jewels. You can see this throughout our journey over thousands of years of civilization. India was rich, and both outwardly and inwardly. In one hand, spirituality flourished. On other hand, we were self-sufficient. We were rich in many perspectives of modern sense. But whole the civilization was founded on the basics of nature. They understand the zero coming from India is not just coming out of blue. From the experience, from the spiritual realizations, we see that our cosmos is circular. Our solar system is circular. Our planets are circular. Our life cycle is about a circle. Atomic structure is all about a circle. Everything that you can think of has a circle, has a beginning, has an end, and it is perpetual. This wisdom, if we do not adhere to this wisdom and make our development, that can lead to disaster. And this is the point I want to make. And there is always sukh and dukh, happiness and sorrow are part of living, is part of coexistence. On the earth, same day and night you see on the same earth. Day comes and night comes. You have the flourishing tree above the earth, and there are roots below the earth. The opposites coexist, and that is the wisdom we have to grasp to be happy and peaceful and coexist. The very basics of the nature, because whole life is because of oxygen. The zero, the symbol is O2, and nature has no waste. These are the basic concept on which I will be talking about rest of the journey here. And the nature is perfect. It makes, it uses, it reuses, it remakes and recycles. That is the whole thing leading to zero waste. There is no concept of waste in the nature, and India has flourished along that. Everything was so nice in this civilization, in this subcontinent, the Bharat. And we lived a very fulfilling life with the cycle of artha, dharma, kama, and moksha, the meaningful learning, obeying the rules, the dharma, coexisting with ecology, ecosystem, doing our karma, kama, desires for wealth creation in modern sense economy, and the moksha, dying without dying, self-realizing and ever existing. The state, we reach the state of mind where we don't die. And that is the moksha. We realize, we see whole of the world in ourselves. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam came through this realization that everything is me and me is everything. Aham Brahmasmi. That realization is the ultimate goal. And all these I have talked about in previous slide is actually aligned with the self-realization, the moksha, the enlightenment. Once you reach that stage. But in our grahastha jivan, we have these four in a cycle. You have to learn, you have to follow the rules, you have to be industrious, work, desire, create, and then self-realize. And that is the foundation of India. That is what our education is all about. Only making money or the career is only karma you are talking about. You have to do the dharma part. You have to do the earth part and the fulfillment of you being here consciously. That is most important one. And out of that wisdom, the first sukh, because we desire for happiness, sukh, it is founded on nirogi kaya, good health. And good health comes from manual labor. You cannot be nirogi, you cannot be completely healthy if you are not sweating out. And look today, what we did. We, to give the comfort to the body, we put ourselves in a huge stress to the mind. So we actually went against the nature. From the fundamental, we shifted in current times. The education that focused on something else, nirogi kaya was left out. If you do not make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. Read it again. This is the fundamental. And organic farming will be connected to this fundamental. Gandhi has emphasized again and again that your journey is important than your goals. Earth provides enough to serve every man's need, not every man's greed. If you are obeying this law of zero, law of circular coexistence, then you cannot be greedy because you know the law. Because it is a circle, you have to come back to that. And it is perpetual. It will lead you to the sustainability. But today, in the madness of rush for development, the way development has been defined after the Industrial Revolution has defied this law of zero, the circular system, renewable system. We have absolutely violated this law of nature. What went wrong? Industrialization. That led to urbanization. Enormous use of energy that created pollution. Along with population growth, mobility increased, creating Water, air, and food pollution. Soil got degraded, oceans got polluted. The waste we see outside the urban centers, the heap of waste. Our health got jeopardized. Extreme weathers can be seen, and biodiversity is endangered. Whole this thing leading to the global climate change and adverse global health. The whole development, what you see here in the three circle, that environment is the first most important, bigger part of any development we do. Then it should be socially viable, and then focused on economy. It reversed actually. All our madness, all stampede is for the economic development. We are finding ways this way or that way, trying to outwit the nature this way or that way for the higher economy. More and more economy, day and night, sleeping, waking up, every time economy is at the center stage. I think it should be environment. And within this environment, your health is at the center stage. You have to socially peaceful. You cannot create economy based on violence and defying all those laws of harmonious coexistence. What went wrong? We take from the nature, we make something, transform that natural resources, we use them, dispose them, and pollute. The figure you see here is not circular. It is not aligned with nature. It is not aligned with cosmic laws. It is not aligned with sustainability. Pollution, use and throw culture, the creation of waste, unsustainable cancers growth. And that leads to the death. This is what has happened. Has India in these years, more especially after the independence from British, had gone for good or bad? We have changed from this beautiful picture, sun rising at the backdrop and the person is driving bullock cart, using zero energy. It is aligned with nature. On the other hand, we have these high rise with smoky background, photochemical smog around these buildings. We have a room of 10 by 10 by 10 feet in our cozy office with air conditions. That is sustained by enormous use of energy. And after a whole day of work, we are depressed. Has the India changed for good or bad? And certainly not for good. The top four most India's environmental sustainability issues are urbanization, haphazard, unplanned urbanization is popping up with slums and so many social issues. The water, the sacred rivers, the mothers of our India, these rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Krishna, all these, Narmada, all these have been polluted. This wonderful land with so many seasons and climate zones for food and food diversity, we have sprayed them with poisons. And we see the photochemical smog whole across India and more specifically on Indo-Gangetic plains. The visibility issues and fogs and huge air pollution in Delhi is not unknown to anyone. We have these sustainability threats, and if there are sustainability threats, one of the greatest thing that I'm going to focus today is about the water, air, urbanization, and green revolution. The green revolution, the spray of so many dangerous and toxic chemicals have polluted India significantly. And these are the threats for Startups-Atamnirbhar Bharat. Environmentally not sustainable. The pristine Ganga coming from Himalaya, for that Bhagirath has done so much tapasya. When it comes to Rishikesh, it is beautiful. But when it reaches Haridwar, it started polluting. And then this is what we see, the big sewage coming to the Ganga. And then Ganga goes down and get polluted by these industrial waste. Is this the development? Is this the wisdom of India that India has harbored for so many thousands of years? This is what Patanjali, this is what our Rishi, Muni, saints talked about. This is for the development. And this is the Ganga when it reaches Kanpur. And leather industry has polluted to its worst state. Ganga at Prayag. All this sewage from across the city, this whole urbanization, concentrated centers with human population are ultimately disposing their waste. And that waste coming from so many industries, chemical, electronic, and other waste in many forms are ultimately coming in our life cycle. And same is thing happening as the Kashi. This Mother Ganga has been polluted, and this is one of the greatest threat to our culture. And the future is really a threat. It is full of toxins, and we will have no more Ganga. Air pollution. It is the chemical soup in which we float, and it is not only impairing our health and environment, but also altering the climate of this planet. And this is a global issue. And in India, we have these threats, we have these issues. We can look these classical smog of London, and where this whole industrial revolution was flourishing and then spreading all across the globe. They have experienced deaths of thousands of people and from the burning of the coal to produce electricity. Later, due to the traffic, Los Angeles has choking breath, and there was a lot of issues regarding huge photochemical smog in late 70s. And now this phenomena is global now. You go to the Mexico City or Sao Paulo, or you go to Beijing or New Delhi, you see that there is this skies are no more blue and full of smog and photochemical toxins in the air. And this scale is very regional when we look into the India and Indo-Gangetic plain. All foothill below Himalaya, from Pakistan to Bangladesh, along India, passing many states, around 850 million people living here suffers from huge pollution, and millions of people dying due to air pollution prematurely every year. And this is bigger than any other pandemic. And we do not know this. We don't pay heed to it. Uncontrolled growth of these tiny units, vehicles, which is a norm now. This is a threat to the environment, environmental sustainability. Urbanization of India is a major wrong step. And this is what? Very unplanned and very unsustainable. High blood pressure, diabetes, so many illnesses and overall sufferings, high budget of medical, so many things that in urban centers, and not alone India, this is the story all across the globe. Urbanization is actually against the nature. And this need much better planning, much better vision. And there comes the role of government, how we unurbanize the India for better growth, better India. Now, this burning is everywhere. This burning is everywhere across Indo-Gangetic Plain. These are the pictures from there. But today, major threat is coming because of the Green Revolution. The crimes of Green Revolution are basically monocropping, and then to take second crop for the economy without understanding the nature. You are actually running against the nature, the life cycle of the crops and things, and then start burning this. It's very easy to do this, and that is disturbing your rain patterns, climate change, poor air quality, adverse health effects. Yes, when you are inhaling these, you are inhaling the black carbon, brown carbon that is cancerous, and you are threatening the food security because you are playing with environment and soil fertility. The green revolution has black future actually. India's population and world population is growing, and that will increase the crop production and increase the food demand. So along with this, there is more food demand, and the green revolution is going to push more and more towards more production. And that altogether will have a trouble, because if this culture goes on, people will start faster production, burning, spoiling soil. So we are walking in a straight line, not in a circular, because our energy production and everything is coming from fossil fuel and and fixed deposits from the nature. We are exploiting them. We have cut down and hold this in last 150 years. One species of the earth, that is human being, have managed to change the climate. The world is warming and shifting the rain patterns all across. Oceans will continue to warm during 21st century. Global mean sea level will rise, glaciers will melt, and it is very likely that Arctic ice will go away. Sea level rise in India will threaten three major Indian cities, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Cuttack. And with the 2-degree rise of global mean temperatures, significant percent of population will be exposed to sea, and they have to shift somewhere else. And at 4-degree, it will be 50% in Mumbai and Calcutta. These are some of the scenarios where Indian cities in global warming scenario is having the trouble. The government is going to face the trouble of housing, water management, facilities, transport, health, and social infrastructure. Impacts of climate change still to be considered a threat. So what is the solution? What is the ancient wisdom says? We have a civilization that has traveled a long, and they have given the solution. Solution to sustainable future lies in the past. Exactly. We have to learn. And one of the things that we have to really consider for India is our own knowledge, our own wisdom. After the industrialization, humans have progressed in terms of technological advancement, scientific discoveries, economic and financial growth. But what about nature and our own very lifestyle? Have they advanced? And the picture seems blurred here. Will we able to sustain the way we are going? An answer is no. India needs to rethink on the rush of unwise industrialization. it is a dead end if we cannot sustain environmentally. We have to come in this circular economy, and for that we have to have a middle path. The simple lifestyle content solved with environmental concerns that our ancestors has led our generations such a long way. It was not that what we have today was not doable in the past. I think more important is that it was not right to do. So the middle path we have to follow, and I'm going to focus on what this middle path is. It has to have economy along with ecology. It has to have health along with the wealth. You have to have morality along with the material progress. And you have to have wisdom along with the information. The middle path consists of health, wealth, and wisdom. If we maintain this wisdom, we will have a sustainable future. We will have progress in India. We will have the harmonious coexistence and peaceful living. Really, that will be the modern lifestyle. And we have to really think on that. Traditionally, India is the country of farmers. Along with all greatness, what I have talked about India, the core of it was the farmers, and it was Atmanirbhar. The cottage industries were very, in these villages, were very much in synergy with organic farming. We called the golden sparrow self-sufficient villages harmony with nature. Happiness was the outcome of all the industry. And so many saints talk about Ravidas. He was a working person making shoes. He self-realized. Kabir, the weaver. These people advocated for volunteer poverty. And they followed the law of manual labor. The law of manual labor is that I will earn my food only by my manual work. Whether I'm king, I'm rich, whoever am I. But I will only sweat out. I will do the manual labor to earn my food, the amount that I eat. This is the fundamental wisdom. This is the law. So you can grow your own food because you do manual labor to grow this, and you're self-sufficient. You don't have to rely outside. And a lot of things will be solved. As Sharma ji has just mentioned that he grows his own food on the terrace. So living in urban areas is, this is a little bit a problem because you don't have enough space and land. But this is what India has to think from this point. The vision is that we have 6 lakhs villages. And once upon a time, we had 6 lakh gurukuls. And these gurukuls and temples of knowledge were guiding source for us. Those have been wiped out. And students have been forced to learn something they are disinterested to. And that is actually plaguing the society. Children have to be trained with this law of nature. If they have to be healthy, they have to be open-minded, they have to have this law. And if you do not follow this law, if you do not sweat, just give all your brain to give comfort to your body, you will be sick. This is the law. Organic farming should be very much weaved along with this wisdom. And then we have to live harmoniously with the nature. Well, the crimes of green revolution, the use of chemicals and genetically modified seeds. This is unwise development. This must stop. If we talk about organic farming and the India is striving for this. We have to stop these poisons. No more spraying of these poison on the spice land. A strong decision is needed from the government and from our own self that we will not cooperate with a spray of these poisons. It is slow poisoning. Your plate containing delicious food with unseenable toxic chemicals that will slowly make your blood pressure high, change your hormone cycle, make you sick, and you pay for buying the food and then you pay for the medicines later. This is one of the first step. I very strongly say that these crimes must stop in our country. And more organic cultivation should be thrust, and which is the government is doing it actually. Impacts of agricultural chemicals on the human health and environment. This is the cycle basically. Your pesticides going into they get absorbed with the crops, they come on your plate. They go into the water bodies, they go into the air, they go into the vaporize, go into the rain, they distribute, they chemically react in the sunlight, form air pollution, you breathe in that. They destroy entire ecosystem. They are in the life cycle now. They are part, and they are very persistent. These molecules which disrupt your hormone cycle, leading you to having diabetes and blood pressure and many other illnesses, your immunity goes down primarily because they are very persistent molecule. They remain in your system, and you are consuming through food every day and breathing or the drinking water. I'm amazed that in India is a very natural country. In this country, I cannot imagine that people are buying water in the bottles. This is the basic right. Clean air, clean water, clean food, food from free from poisons is our right. These chemicals are damaging various aspects. They are damaging your brain. And here I list the name of these pesticides. You have indosulfan T, you have chloropyrophos, hepachlor, and so on. This list is long, DDT, and so on. These are damaging your nervous system, your autonomic system, your eyes, ears, brain, stomach, liver, kidney, endocrine glands, hematogenesis, tissues. So many things are being disrupted from these beautiful chemically grown fruits, vegetables, and fruits. This is threatening. This is scary. And we don't realize. We give in our temptations to the taste. And this is also deception, actually. We are deceived because nobody writes that what chemical, by using what chemical your crop has grown. Rather, this is pity across the globe that those who are growing organic food, they have to produce the certificate of their truthfulness. They have to certificate of their honesty, integrity, that they are doing good job. So third party will come and certify you that you are honest person. You are not using chemicals. But those who are using chemical, they will never write on this that this has been grown using these chemicals and pesticides. And that should come in the policies. The government is responsible for such dharma related. This is actually part of Sanatan Dharma. The wrongdoer should be labeled, and that is what we need in today's time. That these pandemics, Corona is not a big pandemic. It is a pandemic which has gone in our more into our brain, and it is happening. It has paralyzed larger population of the world, affected us significantly, as Sharma ji pointed out. So many millions, billions of people are without education, or like they have to stay home for this reason. but there are so many deaths across the globe due to these pesticides or these chemicals that are used to grow the food. I mean, is this the development? I sometimes scratch my head and see that, okay, we say that we are in the modern world, we have progressed so much. Is this the wisdom? Is this the development? Certainly not. Look at this one example, another, the cadmium coming into your rice. So a lot of this cadmium is coming from industries. It goes into the rivers. It comes into your water bodies slowly, and rice need a lot of water actually. And then it comes into your grain and you eat it and kidneys are affected. And then itai disease, the picture is shown here. Your bones are affected by this calcium, and cadmium actually affect that. Absorption of calcium goes out. And that is what the problem is. The chemicals in agriculture are dangerous for upcoming life. You have to keep away these chemicals from the newborn ones. Even they have not taken the birth still, and they are affected by that. This can be really scary and disturbing, that without doing a crime, these lives in the womb are affected by somebody's act. How do you ensure you are eating safe food? Across the globe, if you go into the restaurant, they are in the race of good economy, making more money by serving you the tasty food. So taste is the main focus, and that is lot of taste flavor enhancers are used, something like monosodium glutamate. Children are really craving for these, like those are in chips or the burgers or anything else. So artificial flavors and colors, genetically modified foods, toxic preservatives, emulsifiers, sweeteners, adulterants, all these are coming synthetically uh, designed molecules, and they are coming in your food. So what is your lifestyle? You are working for someone else, and then you have to work hard. You are not cooking your own food. You rely someone else cooking food. Someone else has agenda to make their own money, and then there are not regulations, policies. Your life is one life gone. By the time you realize, you are in danger. And not only you, your upcoming generations too. Because if mother is giving birth and she is having her hormones disrupted, the progeny will have the issues. Food matters. And let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. That's the wisdom actually. You don't need medicine if you take care of your food properly. And it is a basic need and a choice for life. You cannot live without it. It is a fundamental right also. Nobody should go hungry, but you have to make wise decision what you are eating. Are you eating organic food, or you are compromising your for the some adulterated foods? You have to not to judge the food by its outlook, polishing, or the packaging, or the brand, or the prejudices, or the taste, or the trust, or the wisdom. You have to decide that what you are eating is the right choice. And one solution for those is organic farming. This green revolution that that has been actually started long back. I come from a very remote village, and I have seen that when I was a child, people coming and giving money to the farmers and giving these fertilizers and chemicals for free to spray in their because these corporates were pushing the agenda. Those who are making these fertilizers and chemical, those industries were pushing this agenda for marketing, and they were reaching out village and village. People were happy doing their traditional thing. And there is a lot of myth around that if there is no green revolution, India would have died or starved. And that is there. I did a simple calculation, took out some of the numbers from Google, from the internet, and I see that 2,000 million tons of cereals, grains, vegetables, fruits are produced in India. The actual annual need of average population is around 500 million tons a year. So 4 times we are producing. Where is that going? Why we need to produce so much if they say that green revolution has enhanced the production? So issue is not about production, it is something else. It's a distribution management and other things. Lot of this green revolution, industrialized agriculture, that has come up through unwise development, is farming in watertight compartments. So somebody is producing these fertilizers, the manufacturing fertilizers, so they will push their agenda. Somebody is making some tools, so they will push their agenda. And then other industries are not harmonized or not synergized with this. So it is in watertightment, quality and ecosystem destruction, biodiversity, monocropping. There is so much push about like wheat in Punjab. Punjab has become cancer belt, or the rice in Punjab. So these are some of the examples very commonly in the news and in the buzzwords. And this monocropping has led to Vidarbha suicides and so many things that farmers have lost their sustainable living because of the use of monocropping or these chemicals. They go into debt and the depression, and then they kill themselves. So there is more push on the high productivity, but reducing the quality of the food. There is no doubt about this. And like there is a science, full science about stress activated food, slow foods. These are the foods which are good for human health. And naturally, they are produced and they are there. There is so much bigger fruit, bigger guava, bigger mango, bigger vegetables. There is so much buzz about it. But actually, if you do the molecular analysis of these, you'll find that smaller fruits, smaller grains, smaller vegetables are more nutritious. The slow poisoning is happening, health pandemics and premature deaths. I have already talked about this and emphasized that through these policies of chemical spraying on our fields is unwise and causing a lot of deaths and a lot of health pandemic. And if the government is not understanding these things, taking steps, then they have to have more on their health budget. So it is always wise to go back in the circular economy of circular agriculture. And a lot of this has happened to support urbanization and unsustainable growth. I'm not against the industrialization blindly, but I'm against the unwise, unthoughtful industrialization and the industries pushed through the corporate lobbies and things. And a lot of economic disparities coming from green revolution. The poor farmers, marginal farmers are really becoming poor and poor. And most of the suicides coming from there. Along with this natural disaster of climate change, those are also impacting with double thing. So life of a farmer is really in the trouble in the country. And then the one short solution for this is that future of India lies in the villages, and it is the organic farmer, like khadi during industry during the freedom struggle. I mean, this is symbolic here, but what I want to say that it has united whole India for the freedom struggle. The Khadi, the Charkha, the people's involvement. We want to create another movement of organic farming across India to make India Atmanirbhar. This is Atmanirbhar Bharat struggle actually. And thus we have to pave path along, synergize with government bodies and policymakers and activism, farmers, all with one goal that India's field should be poison free. They have to be organic. We have no other choice. Karo ya maro. That type of situation have arrived in India, and we all have to strive for organic farming. You have to resolve, take vows that that is the path of dharma, the Sanatan dharma, which talks about perpetual cycle, a perpetual wheel that regenerates, and we have to regenerate our loss of all these natural resources over these years. The economy has to come through ecology. There is no other way. And this is really beautiful and wonderful. The cow coming at the center of the stage, producing biogas, manures, and through this, they have cow will get its own food. It will byproduct will be the crops, and like it is very sustainable. If we go into the really grassroots and implement this agenda, that village has at least one village unit has a very good biogas. There are cow shed, and these cows are taken care. You get the milk, you get the manure, you get energy sufficient along with solar energy, and this can totally villages can be totally self-reliant in terms of energy. We have done these experiments. I'm going to talk about this, and so your economic goals will be fulfilled, and then along with ecological goals. So ecological goals are the key basically, and economical goals are the byproduct, but they are ensured, and that is achieved by the social goals. So when we go into village is one unit, and everybody is doing a cooperative farming, organic farming. There's a big support nowadays from the government, and that's a very heartening. These micro, medium, and small scale industries are pushing these agenda of organic farming very meticulously, and then that will conserve your biodiversity, animal friendly husbandry, conserve natural resources, safe products, good taste and quality, respect of local culture, gender balances. I mean, this is full, a complete universe in itself. If you look into organic farming, this is enormously enriching lifestyle. Now, the lifestyle that is emerging, like everybody is getting education in these watertight compartments, that has been there. Now from 2020, more freedom is given to learn and to live and to create and be innovative. So new education policy is certainly very heartening and encouraging. And on this, we put one of the bigger agenda in this policy of organic farming. We will create the organic farming schools, agencies, organizations will push through this agenda on multiple facets, multiple platforms, because this is ecologically good, because this is economically good, because this is socially good. And we look into our strength of organic farming. We have 6 seasons in India, 32 agroclimate zones. We can grow anything naturally. We have 6 lakhs villages, still so many people living there. And these villages are beautiful, natural. Little push is needed, and like we will be up the ramp on sustainability. We have enormous human resource. We are grown these villages full of cow culture. We respect the cow and coexist with animals. Our beliefs and faiths very much go along with or align with this idea of organic farming. We are very strong in biotech. We have very strong biodiversity across the indigenous knowledge, wisdom, low energy lifestyle. I mean, look into the per capita CO2 emission across the globe and per capita from India. We are in very low. We are already good, but we have somehow our weaknesses. Whatever is happening in other parts of the world, we want to ape that. We want to mimic that. No, we are very unique, very powerfully situated, located on the globe. We have low self-confidence. And one of this self-confidence comes from the language. I don't know, during this whole struggle against British for freedom, we have somehow conceived that if we do not know English, this is the problem. I don't think so. Sometimes we are short-tempered, short-sightedness, and we have to really have our this new education system, new education policies. We have to have the overcome the weaknesses about awareness on organic farming and education on organic farming. Farming was not considered the mainstream so far. It was by default. And this has been recognized now. So I'm very happy about it, that it is taking the center stage. So with cow culture in the center and organic farming, country can do wonders. And I'm very optimistic about it. We have opportunities are like we get the safe food, better health, reduce health budgets, good for government, less headache, sustainable development, enormous enhancement in the employment, energy self-reliance, improved economy through exports. Not we only grow ourselves, but we feed the world, bring harmony, love for everyone else. And we have opportunities for scientific and technological advancement along with nature. I always emphasize that we have to come into this circle. There are threats when we go for these ventures and at a large scale. The climate is changing, so there will be setbacks, there will be issues we have to overcome. We have to analyze them well. Corporates can be the threat because there are existing economy. People are manufacturing these drugs and chemicals and things and fertilizer. They will push their agenda, and there can be all the politics of vested interest. So these are the threats. We have to be aware, we have to be cautious, and we have to work along those. The circular economy and zero waste through organic farming. This is one good example here shown that we have animals, cows, and we are growing here. From that, whatever waste comes, it goes as a manure there, as a fertilizers, and then from there it can come as an animal feed. So this is a small cycle in itself, and then the manure or the animal fecal that comes out, the cow dung and things that will go into the digester, creating biogas, and then the liquid and solid goes further, where liquid separation takes place. Liquid can go to the liquid effluent and nutrient recovery, as acting as a fertilizer, algae product. Those can be used as a water treatment, and then this can come back into the waste. And then further, it goes into the circular form for creating the fuels and energy. So food, fuels, energy, everything is coming on to you in a very renewable way. That is the thing. That is what we have broken in the industrialized society. We have broken these circles. So we just created fertilizers in the industry, and there is no circulation of those, and rather those become the pollutants and polluters. And that was no more a good wisdom. We have to come back in a biological cycle of circular economy. So there are 3 cycles already that is founded on organic farming, enrich organic resources. So you have food production, consumption, and from there it can go with the bio waste and biomass, and then you can create the biogas, biofuels, recover renewable energy, and then organic synthetic materials can come, production of bio-based products, bio-based product use, and then separation and cycling. So like everything is renewable, it is in the circle. Sometime you miss something, one step in this, no problem, it can come again in the circle. It's perpetual, sustainable, immortal in a way. And that wisdom is the realization. When you feel that you are part of this circle, you are quite realized about yourself. So it's a need of the hour, and it's a new paradigm in the business. The emerging opportunities starts up for organic farming. I have pinned down these ideas that what are the basic things in organic farming. It is about production of the food and the biomaterials, processing, packaging, science and tech required for these production and processing, packaging. Then there's a market units. These are the basic, and the supply chain. These are the basics when you talk about organic farming. At the first instance you will see, but there are other emerging ideas and areas. Health science, all the drugs and chemicals that are synthetically produced should come from plant-based medicine. Ayurveda, I mean, we had this wisdom. Ayurveda is the future, basically. The plant-based medicine is going to play a vital role because these have lesser side effects. Energy and biofuels, a lot of work is needed here. Food sciences, nutraceuticals, high-tech, bio-based electronics, IT innovations needed, biotechnology innovations needed here. Cosmetics, textiles, building materials coming from the biomass, sustainability sciences. All sustainability is sitting on the base of organic farming. If you just say farming and you use chemicals, it is not sustainable. But this organic farming, you go to the organic forestry or the food production or the biomaterial production, whatever, it is sustainable because it completes the perpetual cycle of circular economy, circular pathways. Dairy, forest eco-services, and even chemical industry. The chemicals that you are producing synthetically or through mining stuff from the earth, we go for the chemicals or replacing those chemicals by new industry through plant-based chemicals. And that is the revolution next awaited. And everything will be in harmony. Now the caution here is that we have to go again in the circle in a sustainable way. And the organizations that will be here, the research and development, education, the startups for the businesses in multiple fields, like all these areas, startups are needed in health, in energy, in food sciences, in high-tech, cosmetics, textile, building materials, sustainability science, dairy, forest, chemical industry, whatever you think of, everything will come from organic farming, organically growing an organic biomass. So we need a strong startup. The education should back up that. FPO should come in the forefront, taking leading steps to organize farmers in cooperative farming and for win-win. The government has to back up with good policies, funding support, and total push should be from the government side to make India Atmanirbhar, and unurbanization will really be boosted if organic farming has taken a mainstream in the country. And corporates have to reorganize themselves, not only this energy based industries, but then bioenergy and biomass based industries. A lot of unorganized sectors also have to will be playing role here, like individual farmers, retailers, manufacturers, and so on. So this is the matrix actually presented here. 15 hours. And we will go on, and then government is telling that this is the backbone of India. अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ साबित हुए कृषि के क्षेत्र को बड़ा प्रोत्साहन देने की तैयारी, 6 लाख किसानों को सीधे लाभ. तो ये जो न्यूज़ है, these type of things are very encouraging from the government, but it is a long journey, long way. We have to breathe deep, take a pause, and go for it. So traditional farming is being pushed by the central and state government, and that is pretty encouraging. And through this micro scale medium and small entrepreneurship and industries has to be will be playing a role here, and we all are updated. We need more updates and education, and channels like this are very, very helpful to spreading the words around and bringing like-minded people actually. And the success story we all know is Sikkim, world's first absolute organic state. That's what we need. It should be like India, entire India, and this will give actually, this will make India Vishwaguru in itself, because to achieve this whole organic thing, we have to align so many things that will fix in itself. It is a fix in itself. Many problems of India, maybe religious, communal, political, whatever, they will all align with this new struggle for Atmanirbhar Bharat through achieving this India becoming 100% organic society. And all our industries align with this mighty goal, lofty goal for India to attain. Now, with this all talk about it, I will take some more time to tell a humble story of my own. As Sharma ji has already talked about me a little bit, my professional
We are waiting.
story.
We are waiting to hear. We
Thank
are waiting
so
to
much.
hear
Thank
that.
so
Please
much.
go ahead.
Right,
Please go ahead.
right. Yeah. So it is a story of rural transformation, some of my experiments I have done in rural India, and through 2 platforms. One is called Bharat Uday Mission, the rise of India, rise of glorious India again, and the Seed Foundation that is transforming rural India, as Sharma ji has pointed out, that it is a non-profit organization in California. And we are synergizing together to transform rural India in a sustainable way. So vision is like holistic rural transformation, and core goal is sustainable, peaceful communities founded on 4 pillars of economic self-reliance, value-based education, activism, and service to the communities. And then this will be supported by strong ethical culture, strong teamwork, investment, collaborations, passion, and entrepreneurship. The mission is to create a movement towards sustainable holistic transformation in India. The mission is founded on these 4 pillars: economic development through organic cooperative enterprise movement, skill development through the training of youth for entrepreneurship program, startups, and social actions, holistic learning and human transformation through Gurukul education of the system. Actually, these support each other actually. In Gurukul culture, we will talk about how children are involved in growing their own food, becoming self-reliant from the early age, and then they are healthy and vibrant. And then Center for Life Care Activities, Ayurveda, and many other parts of the needs of the society will be taken. Those are needed in rural India. Now, this model is very synergistic, actually. So we have the first wheel in this. There are 4 wheels, And they actually, if one wheel is rotated, all four will rotate. So that's the synergy. So organic cooperative economic movement we begin. So we start with organic farming and then processing, packaging there. Once this drives, we need to train youth to participate in this. So it creates employment. And then we create economy through this, and this economy will support Gurukul, and Gurukuls will educate young generations, and character building will be the focus. So this journey of self-realization begin from that age through the culture, through the living. So Acharya was the person whose acharan was so good that children will learn from the acharan, and the Guru will lead to the gate. Guru will lead to the pupil to the gate of self-realization. It will walk along with the children to get self-realized, and then we take care of other life care needs in the community. So this is a very synergistic model. If one wheel rotates, other will rotate itself. And then there are sometimes energy barriers and there are obstacles we will overcome. And I will talk about my journey here and this. So we did this first experiment of founded Bharat Uday Karma Yogi Ashram. The Karma Yogi itself is non-attached way of working. Now, if we look very deeply into this whole concept, actually we all are working. We are sleeping, eating, whatever we are doing the work. But the work binds us. We get attached to it. And then that attachment brings suffering. So karmanya vadhikarastu ma phaleshu kadachana, that comes from the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita and very much inspired by this. So the Karma Yogi Ashram was founded in 2007. Now I take you a little back from that. I come from this very little village here, pointed is red circle, red dot here is called Chedi Basayak, Bundelkhand. When I was a child, I read Bhagat Singh, his sacrifice for freedom struggle. And literally, it was a story when I was in grade 4th. I cried. And then I was also ready, like Bhagat Singh, to give my life for my country. But how? And those were the initial seeds. I was expected to excel in academics. I did that. Through Government of India scholarship, I went to top public schools of India. One of them is Delhi College, Indore, and Boys Town Public School, Nasik. From there, reached IIT Bombay through IIT JEE, studied there. And there I decided to go into the research, contribute through research to the rest of the globe. But when I was writing my PhD thesis in Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, I got some time to think. And the first thought came to my mind was, what is truth? Truth of life. And then the name that came to my mind, okay, let us read this person who talks about truth so much. And it was the book called Story of My Experiments with Truth by Mahatma Gandhi. And then I did not stop. I admit that I'm a very poor reader. Actually, I don't read much. But whatever I read, I bring it into the life, into my own actions, into my acharan, my behavior. And thus changed everything. I had believed that one day the science and technology, the way it is advancing and happening, will wipe the tear of every eye from the world. However, when I read Gandhi more deeply, I realized it is not the science and technology that will bring peace, but it is the own human behavior, human nature. If you are not good human being, you will use this science and technology for bad things. And we see these examples across the globe. That paradigm shift actually made me to walk on the path Gandhi walked. I was reading Making of Gandhi or Birth of Satyagraha in South Africa. And the journey was full of tapasya. And I have realized if I have to do anything for the society, I have to simplify my own wants. Today, the youth, in the rush of making their own career, they forget the goal of life. And that was the realization in 2003 and 2004, when actually I got full postdoc fellowship from uh, Carnegie Mellon University, one of the top universities. My career was actually bright. And that was the darkest hour of my life, because I knew that, okay, career is bright, जिंदगी खा के मर जाने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन क्या खा के मरने के लिए ही सिर्फ जन्म हुआ है? And that realization, I went through my own transformation. The tapasya, I reduced my food, I went on fasting, yoga, self-restraint. I walked miles and miles in the United States to get my vegetables, where there are no pathways for pedestrian. Only you have highways, and you have to find your own ways to walk. Walking was not that easy as driving the car, but I did not buy the car because that was against my own principle of polluting it. And this 3 years of tapasya led me to realize that now I'm ready to go my own village. I packed my bag from US in 2007 and then came and started this journey. I came to my village. I found that my mother's land, around 30 to 50 acres, in the ravines of Betwa River, and that is barren, unproductive, unused, lying there. I started this journey, and rest the story is here of transformation. So we followed this simple cycle of principle of organic farming, cow-based circular economy, and then here is the story of transformation. You see, so these ravines here in 2007 and before, these made into flat land, and then organic farming plantation took place, and then within 5 years this was vibrant. Of course, this journey was not that simple. I came from US almost empty-handed, but enormous courage, enormous zeal to do or die and make a story of transformation, that it is doable. And many people must have, actually many people want to do it, but only that pulls them back is financial security or the fear of, or the fear. That enormous courage that comes from our own Indian way of life, that is volunteer poverty. If I don't need anything, what I am rich actually. So these are, as I said, opposites coexist. You have when you are inwardly rich, outwardly poverty does not matter. And what is happening is, to become outwardly rich so much, we are many times kill our own inner voice and become poor inside. That's they'll coexist. So you have to choose which one you want, inner richness or outer richness. And courage, compassion, and these are the part of inward richness we need to have. And then from material poverty to prosperity, from ecological poverty to ecological prosperity, you see that changing is happening on this barren land. The fruit of hard work you see in these pictures. And this is what I tell story of my journey with Mosambi. This year we have harvested 5 tons of Mosambi from my own planted trees here from 2007 to 2010 and onwards. And when a IIT graduate person working in a top university in the research and development decided to give up career and return back to village and start planting these sweet limes, people called me lunatic. But this crazy idea was part of the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat then, because Atmanirbhar is not new word for us. For centuries we have been Atmanirbhar, and today we are in crisis, but we will be. Like any other great journey, this journey was also not straightforward. It requires enormous courage, conviction, persistence, perseverance. And this season we have now fruits, and we have been yielding, getting these yields previously as well. So we bring these organic food from this experiment, and there is a big list of these I will walk through. But whole passion is for the rise of the India. We want India to rise, and not, this is not very arrogant thing. This is very humble thing, that we want to be self-reliant and will be in the position to support the rest of the world in our own way. And that own way is the way of peace and truth. So this concept of farm to fork, like when you eat food on your plate, you should be ensured that it is coming from this particular source. And that is what the model, every farmer should link with 10, 20, 100,000 of consumers in the urban areas, and so on. We have to have this family Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam relationship, and that is we are striving for. Now you see this beautiful picture. This was a barren land, desert, nothing growing here, and the change, the transformation itself is encouraging. And this is telling that if whole India stands up for organic farming, this will be the revolution. We have number of whole foods. So like atas are whole grains, multi-grains, and they have enough fiber. And those are one of the premium atas. We are from this ashram is coming all across India, and now with our new partner Vednidhi, we are going to take this in US and other countries as well from this year. So there will be opportunities for many people to join hands with us and scale this up whole movement, and make it a reality. It can happen, it will happen, it is bound to happen. Similarly, oils and desi ghee. I mean, ghee, Ayurveda says, is one of the purest form of the substance on the earth. This is so good for you, and it is rare, because ghee adulteration is high currently, and then it's better to eat only organic ghee. And we are there, and we are bringing this change, this cow ghee, all across the globe. We are pushing this movement in every cluster of the villages. And of course, we are synergizing. We are actually doing the work that government is supposed to do and government is doing. We are fully immersed with high spirit to bring this organic food as a big revolution in India and across the globe. So these packets will be available to you now and in coming Diwali onwards. And this is a perfect example from poverty to prosperity in multiple ways. It's not about only economy, but also ecological. Your own spiritual development is happening when you're sweating out in these fields. You are living with nature, with bees buzzing around and flowers around you. You are inhaling the fragrance. It is an immense pleasure to be an organic farmer. It is a story that can encourage millions and billions of people across the globe to live a healthy and prosperous life. That is really the good modern lifestyle. Living in urban center and breathing the smog and these chemicals and air pollution, and drinking bottled water and eating the poison on your plate is not the lifestyle, and full of stress. I think there are enormous opportunities for those who want to go back to their roots. Please contact us, stay with us. We will walk together and do this journey together as a brother, So that was story of organic farming. But then this organic farming must be supported by holistic education. And this education for me and for us and in Bharat Uday mission is all about becoming human. It's a relative success. That is, you have to build your strength, build your make your livelihood, and earn your dignity in the society. You have to have the liberty, happiness, and self-realization. And you have to be unharmful. More powerful you become, you develop the potential to be harmful. But when you are self-realized, you understand the wisdom, you are cooperative, you are peaceful, you are unharmful. And that's the whole purpose of education. So developing these nuclear weapons is not actually, it can be a relative strength, but this should be in the hand of self-realized nations or the societies. Today, education need a change from competition and commercialization. That has narrowed down the vision. Children are in stress and childhood under threat. Mug puke style examination prompted rote learning and life failures, suicide among students. High social peer pressures on a student to succeed push them towards short-term selfish gains and apathetic attitude towards society and humanity. And everybody becomes selfish if they are not given broad-minded or the education that was the core of India once upon the time. We need that change in the country, and the country is awaiting now. So this vision of education from our perspective or our Gurukul education system is the Siksha. You give Siksha or education, then you impart them the Gyan, the knowledge of voluntary, natural, and civil sciences. Give them the Vidya, the wisdom of system independent decision. And that's most important one. Even you get the higher degree, you may not have enough Vidya to make your independent decision. And then you become knocker. You go into the doing the doing something, you follow the instructions rather than becoming leader. Our push is to become leader, and as you become the great leader, you are humble, you are more self-realized, and that's the ultimate goal, to realize the satya, realize the zero, realize the circular coexistence in the system. And this knowledge that we impart in our Gurukul is through storytelling, the emotion and belief learned by involving physical labor, the Shramadhan. It's the most important one I have been emphasizing. If you don't sweat out, if you don't do manual labor, you are going to be sick, your body is going to be sick. Intellectualizing, learning by involving natural science and measurements, experiments, conduction, behavior, sports, art, literature, self experience, expression, and expression of outflow and experience in inflow. Both has to exchange, interaction. This is actually whole idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You don't bind yourself in one race, one society, one nation. Whole world is your family. That is the oneness. Whole spirituality is this in oneness. And that is the purpose of education. That's what we are striving through our experiments in these gurukuls. I will give you some glimpses of our campuses. We have set up now 4 or 5 campuses in these areas, covering like more than 200 to 300 acres of organic fields, and these campuses together with these ample of infrastructure. So this is Gurukul building, this is Gurukul entrance, lush green Gurukul campus in Bundelkhand near Betwa River, Gurukul farms. It's really a great joy to be here. These are some of the glimpses of the Gurukul activities and things on one of the poster. This is one of the Gurukul hostel. These are Gurukul children. We are talking to them, and they are learning together. And Guru Shishya Parampara and every those values, sanskars are given here. This is our Gurukul students for the first batch. They are in dining hall and eating organic food. So they grow there. They have their own kyaris growing organic food, and they have their own dincharya, which sanskar, knowledge, experience, working in field together, shishtachar, everything is part of that whole 124 hour with healthy environment around. So these are some of the programs, things, the students in their Indian dresses. And these are the gurukuls where naturally they, I mean, along with the adequate infrastructure, the emphasis is on the green campus, the agriculture, fragrance around flowers, and natural coexistence. So these are some of the professor from UC Berkeley visited the Gurukul mm, on one of the program, and we also run air pollution center in our Gurukul. So these are the students welcoming. This is our group. And these are Gurukul's infrastructure and development plan. And we have Yagnashala, Goshala, Rangmanch, lecture theater. Some are developed, some we are developing on the way. So this is some of the activities. Students, we have smart classes with this, along with this. So these wide exposure to the student is given that they are learning organic farming, they are working in farms, they are learning under the trees, coexistence with nature, but also they are in touch with modern technology and science that is not stressful to them. And there's a perfect balance between nature and nurture. So these are some of the activities and wonderful students doing. Unfortunately, Gurukul closed currently because of COVID restrictions, but we will soon come back in the session. So let us join hands to make a difference and make India a Vishwaguru again. Thank you very much for this opportunity and a great pleasure to.
Wonderful, wonderful,
Thank you so
wonderful,
much. Thank you so much.
wonderful, wonderful. What a beautiful journey, spiritually, mentally, physically, socially, culturally. You know, you have given such a beautiful. I think we can close. If we have finished, we can just close it and we can come. Such a wonderful journey, such a wonderful journey. I must compliment you. I must salute you as a soldier because it's a remarkable work which you have done over there. And you know, everybody gets all kind of when you think about Sweden, when you think about USA, when you think about going abroad, studying over there, taking education, but linking to the root, linking to the society, linking to the civilization, and linking to your own grassroots, that is something remarkable. And the philosophy what you have given of a circle today, that everything, if it moves in a circle, maybe some small segments, and those four cogwheels which you have shown how one makes other one moves, that is again very remarkable, very remarkable. And when somebody has done himself, then it is altogether different, because when you made a mention, I think so many similarities I'm finding and so much interesting I'm finding it, because I stayed with the Indian Army, I stayed with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. I walked length and breadth of the world, different countries, taught number of places world over. But till date, I'm a teetotaler. I've not tasted even a beer. I'm a vegetarian, never, no smoking, nothing. Work alcoholic. Always realize. और एक आपने जो और बीच में बोला, बड़ा अच्छा सेंटेंस था, something which you gave remarkable. If I don't need much, then I am rich. Ah, what a beautiful chronology and analogy and a philosophy of a life, because it's only the greed which makes you do wrong things in life, and you're all together different, behaving different, working together different. So that something is really, really remarkable. Let me get, while conveying my deep regards and gratitudes and thanks to you, let me get my 5 children also with us in the fold and let them speak about a minute or so. And thereafter, we will have a final closing from your side. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in, conveying our deep regards and thanks to, Professor Pathak. I would say it's something is remarkable, remarkable, Ravi Kantji. You have done,
Thank you
you
so
have
much.
done a wonderful job, and your ideology, your philosophy, your belief, your karma, your dharma, and whatsoever one would like to say, I'm going to say, and the farm to folk, of course, because that's again when you link into, and it's something is remarkable. Let's listen to these children for a minute. Each, let them share what they have got to convey, and uh, okay, now Prajwala. Prajwala, good evening, child. Prajwala, good evening. Oh, you got to see your bandwidth, child. And if your bandwidth is
Yes,
not
sir.
fine,
Yes, sir. Good evening.
yeah, you got to see a bandwidth. You got to see a bandwidth. And try and bring the mic close to you so that your voice is louder. Your voice is louder. Okay? Because your vocal cords
Yes,
have to
sir.
reach everybody.
Yes,
That is very
sir.
important. Hold the mic near. Hold the mic near
Yes,
so that people can hear you. Okay, Prachwala, what do you want to
okay.
share with all of us this evening?
I have to share how to achieve your dream. I will tell you about that.
How
So
to
I
how to
want to
achieve
tell
your
that
dream? How to achieve your dream? That is your take.
dream job.
Okay,
How
your
to achieve
dream
your
job.
dream job.
Okay, okay.
Huh. So each and everyone I have to tell that how to achieve a dream job.
You have
So
to bring your
I will
mic. You
start
have
now.
to bring your mic very close to you. You have to bring your mic very close. If you can hold it, if you can hold it just next to your, vocal cords, it will be much better for us. Yeah, please go ahead. You want to take
Yes.
time? I can get back to you again.
Sure, I
No,
tell
no, no.
that each and
Finding it,
everyone that
finding it difficult. What I'll do, I will come back to you again. I'll come back to you again. I can't hear you. Okay, Tanvi, let's have you, Tanvi. Yeah, great evening, Tanvi. Come on, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just see your mic. See your mic. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Is it okay?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
All right, sir. So good evening to one and all present here. My name is Tanvi Mhatre and I'm a third year student from APJ Institute of Hospitality.
We are not interested. We are not interested who you are, which you are in, which college you are. We are not interested. We
Okay.
just want to know what is your question and what do you want to tell the world?
So my topic is how to make education relevant to our day-to-day life.
Okay, how to make education relevant to our day-to-day life. Okay, go ahead.
So till date, we've only had most theoretical knowledge and we barely have practical knowledge in it. The main point of having making education relevant is to have practical and real life examples in it. So I'll start by saying, taking an example of the new education policy, which was introduced in 2020 February, which gives the students freedom to choose any subject of their own, which wasn't possible at first. So this gives them a broad range of subjects and to choose from. And regarding that, the syllabus of every subject or any degree or any course should be structured in such a way that it has pace, progress, and challenge, and so that students are curious about everything and they keep asking questions about real life examples and practical knowledge. And you have to make sure that whatever you're teaching or whatever you're learning, it is real and keeping it real. And the content and knowledge should be relevant to real life challenges and cultural matters. And so like if you learn a new topic amongst in college or in any industry or any college you are, make sure you discuss about it with your colleagues, because discussing brings in new ideas which you don't know. So that's important. And there's also importance of soft skills that needs to be implemented. And you should make a link to real life cases and situations so that you get a better idea of how things work out and not just theoretical knowledge. Then you'll have a broad spectrum of everything around you. And then relating every subject or every topic to real life matters or situations will also help you to understand them better.
Okay. So how do you find this evening, Professor Pathak? Was it a life journey? Was it related to day-to-day life?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Education relevant to your living?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you found it interesting?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, what would you like to become on completion of your study?
So I would like to become, I haven't decided that to be exact. I just know what industry I will be in.
Okay, okay. Please decide, because it's always good. It's always good. You should decide. Okay. Let's get the next candidate. Johanna, let's have you. You share, child, your views.
Yes, sir. Very good evening to
Yes,
one and
child.
all who's watching me right now, who's listening to me.
Yeah.
So yes, my topic for the day that I would like to share my views on is, how to, what does today's youth really want from the
Okay. Your
particular things that are
question is,
happening?
what does today's youth want? Yes. Great.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
yes, I would start by telling a small story. Is that one fine evening, I was just having a little conversation with some of my friends, and they just happened to, have a conversation with me regarding how much they are working hard and not really achieving of what they want due to these particular norms and policies of a particular company that they're looking forward for working in. So that is when I happen to understand that what today's youth really want is, in one word, is a chance. And that is exactly what I feel today's youth are looking forward for. I'm not going to talk about the lack of job employments, or be it anything that we have already known from, and all these information is there on the tip of our fingers. What I feel is that when an individual, specifically a youth, is looking forward to achieve his dreams and is completely passionate about it, why not give it a chance to them? Right? When the companies, when the employers are looking forward at a candidate, I believe all the panelists who sit during an interview, they are completely, eligible, and they are knowledgeable. They're filled with so much of knowledge, and they have that analytical skills to understand a candidate about what he or she is capable of. So once we understand it, why not, take a risk at the very moment and then just give that particular chance to a youth? We never know what that youth would take that chance to, and would become something else, and would make, what profits he would just bring to the company, or be it any sector or any field. So yes, I would also like to share a small story with you that I came up previous little weeks ago. Is that I was just watching, I'm very fond of YouTube videos, and I just happened to, watch a video on YouTube saying that there were two candidates applying for the same job. And one guy out of them was a freshman, and the other one had an experience of 1.5 years. There was nothing else, difference between them other than the experience pattern. They all looked perfect. Personality wise, they were just amazing. They were just keeping up selves. They were groomed properly. Nothing else was there other than the experience part. When the results came out for the interviews, what happened was the experienced guy took the place of him, and this guy did not get the chance. But nobody really thinks, I believe, nobody really thinks that, what if the chance would have actually given to the freshman, and he would have taken the company up to another level? He would have done his hard work. He would have achieved all possible things that he craved for in that particular industry and the roles that he would really work for. So yes, at the end, what really matters to us youths is that we need the chance to really do something to make this entire world, a better place to be in.
Very good. So
yes,
opportunity should be given to younger generation.
Absolutely.
Great. That's lovely.
Yes.
That's lovely. So did you enjoy Professor Pathak's views and his presentation?
I did, sir. I did. It was very insightful. Yes.
Yes, it was very insightful. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anjali, let's have you, child. Go ahead, Anjali. Yes. What's your take, beta? What is your question?
Yes, sir. Can you hear my voice, sir?
Yeah. What are you going to talk about it, child?
Sir, today's my topic is on the.
You have to bring your mic closer. You have to bring, you children, I would request if your mic tone is less, always hold it somewhere nearby or increase the volume, beta. Increase the volume.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes. Sir, so today's my topic is the role of technology in our education system today.
Okay, role of technology in today's education system. Okay, please go ahead.
So, good evening to all of you. Today, I would like to talk and enlighten you, all the viewers, about my ideas on the role of technology in today's education system. So, as we all know, this age of 21st century, it's been considered as the era of technology. And today, technology is one of the most necessary factor in our lives. Every day, a new role of technology in our education system is introduced. There are many new technological products and softwares are launched. So
Nighttime we sleep and next morning when we get up, we find so many new apps have come.
yes.
There's so much change in the society. Okay, go ahead.
So technology plays a very important role in education system to make it easier and more accessible. So as we can get any type of desired information from it. Uh,
Okay.
Another thing is due to this technology in our education system, there is no longer means education is no longer boring for students. It has become more useful and interesting. And moreover, the this technology in our education system also helps our students who are not able to get their degrees by joining institute due to their personal reasons. So, and now there are certain ways through which we can implement technology in our education system. That is through we learning through our games, then digital field trips, then students' feedbacks. These are certain ways how we make education relevant to each and every individual.
Okay.
What I
Point well taken. Point well taken. Point well taken. We have understood. You can conclude it. So just conclude it. Final point. Go ahead.
Yes, with this all ideas, I would like to close my statements. Thank you
Okay.
so much, sir, for giving.
Okay. God bless you, beta. God bless you. Okay. Our Kolako.
Yes, sir.
Yes, child. First of all, tell the world your name and thereafter you start.
Yes, my name is Crystal Colasso, and
Okay.
my question is, what is the purpose of education?
What is the purpose of education? Why education? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
getting educated today is very important for every person. We learn how to read, count, and write. These are the basic abilities we acquire and use in life. Is there another purpose of education, or is it aimed only at giving us a possibility to communicate our ideas and satisfy basic needs? The primary purpose of education has ranged from instructing youth in religious doctrine to preparing them to live in a democracy to assimilating immigrants into mainstream society, even to preparing workers for the industrialized 20th century workplace. According to Malcolm Forbes, the purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Plato says the purpose of education is to give to the body and the soul all the beauty and all the perfection of which they are capable. Ernest Legouf believes the purpose of education is to teach our children to do without us. As you can see, each of them had a different take on what purpose of education is. Many people in the world believe that the purpose of education is to support children in developing skills the knowledge and the dispositions that will allow them to be responsible members of community. Debates about the purpose of education never seem to end. Should young people become educated to enter the workforce? Or should we focus more on social, academic, cultural, intellectual development so that students can grow up to be engaged citizens? The first and foremost purpose of education is to educate all students and give everyone an equal opportunity as a means to succeed in life. Education is the way of igniting and enlightening the thought of an individual. Education is to teach everything with logic and also to find a way to reason and to understand why other things are illogical. It is one of the most important tools that society can possess, and the right use of this tool can be one of the greatest ways of living. Education is what life is offering us. No one person will take in something and process it the same as the next. You might understand something in a different way, and I will understand it in a completely opposite way. No one of us can understand the same thing, and not all five people in a group will understand what you say in the same way. The function or purpose of education is to teach one to think intensively, creatively, and also critically.
Wonderful. Point well taken. Point well taken. Thank you very much. Now,
Thank you.
Anjali, you talked about technology in education, and what Crystal Kolako, she took. This is the bandwidth, and this is the vocal, and this is the pitch which is required. I have to request Government of India, we should give seamless connectivity to everybody. We should give a better bandwidth to everybody. All the state governments got to work hard, and they got to provide this basic facility the best possible way. Okay, Prajwala, I will come back to you once again. Let me
Yes,
just
sir.
try out if we can try it out, child, this time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, now it's better.
Now it's
Please go ahead.
perfect.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, sir, and who are present here, and my viewers. I have to tell that my topic is how to achieve a dream job.
How to achieve a dream job. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Would you like to go for organic farming?
No.
ये
Yes,
देखिए
sir.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत में वो कहती है नो नो नो
That I don't like.
नो
not
ऑर्गेनिक
that.
जस्ट इमेजिन ठीक है हाँ जी चलिए हाँ जी
I want to tell that that you have to achieve a dream job. You should have a passion in that work. If there will no passion, you can't achieve your dream.
Okay, what is your dream job, child? What do you want to
I
become?
want to have a chef. I want to be a chef.
You want to become a chef. Okay.
Yeah.
But secretly, I'm telling you, the best chef of the world are male, not females.
No, we can't tell that.
Okay. I'm just
can
joking.
prove.
I'm just joking. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. Okay, please
Yes.
go ahead.
I want to tell that we should identify our ideas, and we should
Okay.
talk to people, each and every people who had success in the goals. We should get the ideas from them, then we can achieve a goal. He or she should have a passion and focus in the goal. In future, you will not every time you will get the success, you will fail. But you should should give a positive point, and you should grow. Then you will definitely get a
Okay. Understood. Grow, and ultimately you will get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, child.
Thank
God
you.
bless you, beta. God bless you. Thank
Thank
you. So I think these wonderful children of ours, all 5 of them are there. The world can see them. There is a question, I think. Let me, if you permit, Pathak sir, can I take it? If you'll permit me.
Yes.
Somebody. Okay. First of all, actually, we don't bring anybody into the webinar over here directly. We are having all dignitaries and everybody from the whole world coming directly on the YouTube. But the gentleman has logged in over here, Dr. Kamal. Well presented, Ravi. Okay, I think he's on the first terms with you. for the massive change you are talking about, do we require Thanos to reboot because the world has already got locked into a model of development? We have got only one passion, the rise of a great nation. We have, does he want to say that you have got only one passion, the rise of a great nation, India? Okay, I think you can take on this question, Dr. Kamal's question. Professor Ravi, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Kamalji. Kamalji is like elder brother to me.
Acha, okay.
And know him.
And you will be surprised to know we are three brothers. I am the eldest in the family. Younger to me is in London. He is working for the British Tourism. And the youngest is Dr. Kamal, my youngest brother. So, thereby, please go ahead. Yeah.
I think Kamalji know about what I had talked, and this is very much that there is already people saying people have perceived a kind of development has to be done. So we have to reboot it. Yes. Yeah. And
we have to reboot it. Awareness
and then
is there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awareness is there. We got to reboot it. And you also feel that people are ready to be rebooted?
That can be a little bit questionable. It's like there's a lot of more work is needed actually.
Okay. Is it a combination of political will, bureaucratic will, and education will, and the whole, yours is a circle. Yours is a circle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, without political will, this massive changes will not happen. And that is what we have discussed in the Bharat Udaya mission, that the kind of work needed is from the grassroots to the top, and that awareness should begin at the bottom, and then the leader should rise up and then bring holistic and overhaul changes.
Wonderful. Dr. Kamal, could I make a request to you? If you can just post it, your email ID and your present location, where are you? So that maybe we have got a future linkages also with each other, and we can get across to each other, because it's always good. We can just reach out. Okay, you're in Ahmedabad. Okay, are you at II Ahmedabad, or are you in some other institution over there? The change is massive. Okay, we have got only, okay, fine. I'm a PhD from IIMA. Okay, great, wonderful. Pleasure to know that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Professor Ravi Kant Pathak's views all the way from Sweden. And it was such a privilege to have you this evening. I always feel very happy when people talk from their heart, they talk from their soul, they talk from their spirit, and they do justice with the topic and the subject what they want to deal. Now we can only say one thing, that you know, there are so many wonderful examples which we can quote from time to time, but the reason what comes, you know, couple of things in my entire ecosystem. I think it's a holistic approach all of us we have to take together. The entire system has to get into one direction, and all of us we have to move into. And sometime I recollect when I was in army, they were making us to dig a particular pit and then fill it, dig and fill it. I used to sometimes think, what is this happening? Why are they telling us to dig it if it is not required? And then they are telling fill also. Then one day I realized they were making us realize, unless you as an army officer do not know how much time does it take to dig and how much time does it take to fill, how do you expect your Jawan to do it in that possible time? That is one. Secondly, in a very polite way, I would like to make a mention that when you look at the armed forces cantonments, Army, Navy, Air Force, paramedical, and other places and all, they go to the barren lands, and after a few years, They turn the entire cantonment into a complete flora and fauna, into a greenery. Why can't we think of, why can't we plan, and why can't we develop in an ecosystem the entire thing? The other day, somebody was there like, Cyril, some child, and she asked me, she told, Uncle, I've got a question to ask from you. I said, tell me, in the program itself. And then she told me, Uncle, it was a startup program. Again, I'm sharing it with you, the entrepreneur school. She asked, we have got state highways and we have got national highways. When we have got state highways and national highways, where is the problem? Where is the difficulty? When we are growing the trees on both the sides of the national highways and state highways, why are we just growing the trees? Why not to grow fruit trees? I said, it's a very good, very valid question. Tell me now, what is the logic behind? She said, Uncle, had there been fruit trees on both the sides, then people wouldn't have asked the government to give them any food, any ration, any problem. They were walking to their respective places and their states and their areas. They could have plucked the fruits from there and they would have moved self-sustaining society, self-development society. We all got to realize whatsoever we are doing, why are we doing? And that's why your questions, what is the purpose of education? Now, all the children world over, not only in India, I would like to leave one question finally with all of you so that you all should understand. Please do see one movie. On the Netflix, every child should see one movie. I strongly recommend. It is 1 hour, 26 minutes movie. And if you are not seeing that movie, you are committing a sin. The movie is The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma. And if you have not seen this movie, you must see. And if you have seen, you will come to know. You don't get a WhatsApp, you start looking towards your mobile. You don't get Instagram message, you start looking toward your mobile. You don't get a post over there, you start looking your mobile. You're getting hypnotized and glued over there. You're living in a virtual world, artificial world, cut out from the actual real world of the ecosystem of the society. And this movie is not a platonic movie. It's a realistic movie which has been made by the top notches vice president and the CEOs of some of the top companies of the world today. Those are producing the software, and how they are hypnotizing your mind, how they are capturing your thoughts, and how they're showing in that movie. The girl is looking at mobile phone, why the message is not coming, why the message is not coming. And the moment it said tongue, and immediately she looks towards that side. The boy whose mother tells, I'll give you a treat if you are away from your mobile for 1 week. And the guy, after 2 days, somehow in the middle of the night, he gets up and he picks up a mobile and goes. And the mother, while having a food on the dining table, she is putting all the mobile phones of the family in one jar and she is making it soundproof. This girl, she breaks the jar to take out that mobile phone within half an hour during that dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not know. We are not being left natural. We are living in a platonic world, artificial world. Let's get back to the reality of the world. Must you watch? It is for all teachers, all educators, all principals, everybody whosoever is in the education fraternity, and all my young kids. I've got great regards for my children, but you are being hypnotized. They are playing with your emotions. They are playing with your psyche, and they will put that particular ad and that particular song and that particular YouTube and that particular TED Talk, which you are. And after some time, what you're calling it, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality and all, actually it's a all virtual, platonic, fantasy, stupid world, not a realistic world. So let's get back to the reality of the life. Let's eat organic. Let's think organic. Let's talk organic. Let's live positive. And that is the message this evening we get from Professor Ravi Kant Pathak ji, because such a wonderful, I won't call it a presentation. It was not a presentation. It was his soul, which he shared with all of us, because all his lifetime journey, his experiences, right from his village life to America to Sweden and going back to the roots and all that, and then encouraging our farmers, our agriculture, our organic farming, our youngsters. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe you got to understand that. I sleep at 9:30 and I get up at 3:30. Sometimes you get up early in the morning and then you see in the world. If you get up at 11 o'clock, how are you going to live with the nature? You are not going to be. And as we are going to be away from the nature, we will fall sick. We will have mental problem. We will have physical problem. We will have depression. We will have anxiety. We will have stress. And we will be living in fool's paradise. Taking a long shower is not going to remove your hangover. You got to live with the nature, be a part of nature, enjoy the nature. And that is something which is wonderful, which comes. I can see and listen audio and video. That is from Dr. Rakesh somewhere. Something is coming. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, wonderful to have all of you. Thank you very much. My deepest regards and thanks to our worthy, our distinguished speaker, Professor Ravi Kant Pathak ji. And I have got a small request which I would like to make to you before we close today's session. I've got first a girl to my 5 grandchildren and my children. You must take a pledge, क्योंकि सोसाइटी से सिर्फ लेना नहीं है, सोसाइटी को वापस देना भी है. Right? This particular web talk of Professor Ravi Kant Pathak ji is available on the YouTube. We have gone live. I'm talking to you live. There is no alteration, there is no addition, there is no cut and recut and remake. Whatsoever you have spoken, it has gone to the world, it has gone to the universe. So thereby, ladies and gentlemen, when we open our mouth, we tell the whole world who we are. Now, what I want to share, my children and my grandchildren, 5 of you are celebrity this evening. Do you know it requires a lot of courage to reach out 200,000 people in one go and sitting over here. You do not know how many watch parties. You do not know how many my presidents, my advisors. In 149 countries, they put in a lot of efforts, my research teams. So all of you, you will share today's program because you are also a celebrity, and let your classmates, let your course mates, let your friends, let your parents, let your relatives, and let your community see this particular video the best possible way. Share with maximum people. Number 1, good things to be shared. I'm not asking for anything monetarily or materialistic. Sab kuch hawa mein hai. Everything is in air. I'm just requesting you to share. When you share the information, you're still doing a service to the humanity one way or the other. Share the information. He mentioned about Ayurveda. Ayurveda went away from the world. It was repackaged, brought back to India because our Ayurvedists, they didn't share the knowledge with the humanity and they went to graveyard. When you go to the graveyard, you carry that knowledge with you only. That is stupidity. It's of no use. Share the knowledge and the wisdom with the universe right over here. Make world a better place. And my mentor, because when I do motivational talk programs, he says, it's a shame to disappear from this world if we do not add value to the civilization, the planet where we are consuming so many things. So I would make a request to my children and grandchildren, these 5 celebrities this evening, go to Dr. Gulshan Sharma's YouTube channel and also come down every day, bring some more good speakers, bring some more celebrities, share the information, get more and more people on this platform. अभी मैं प्रोफेसर रवि कांत पाठक जी से at the age of 71 going to take some bhiksha. Okay, so I am going to take a bhiksha from him now at the age of 71, and I am going to request him, let us get 4 wonderful policy making strategists of the education, because children shared the vision today, how to make education relevant, why to take education, how to find a dream project, what is the role of technology in education, and a couple of things they shared. Let us hold one panel discussion with 4 to 5 non-resident Indians from the different countries, because wherever, if they are in the different time zones, I'm ready to sit in the middle of the night also. There is no problem. We can hold the discussion any point of time. Let's get 4 or 5 people together, because at this point of time, the new education policy which has to be implemented in India, let's talk about the higher education, making this education relevant for our children, for our youth, so that they all find their dream project tomorrow. So with these words, we close the session today. It was a wonderful session. It was a rewarding and a stimulating section. And this was such a wonderful session. I would say each and every word which has come over here, it was so practical and so true and so relevant. And again, circle we got to understand today. We learned everything has to go into cycle. No pollution, please. We got to remove everything. And Bangalore, there is going to be a water crisis. Punjab, already the water levels have gone down, and so many other problems. Think about those people, those have to fetch the water from 8 to 10 kilometers today also. Let's share with the humanity all the facilities and services what we have got. And final prayer and a request to the Government of India, Ministry of Education, no more buildings, no more 4 walls, no more constructions. Let's give it digital highways. Let's increase the bandwidth. Let's have a seamless connectivity. Let's give the basic gadgets and equipment to those children who cannot afford. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Shubh Ratri. Good night.